Okay, let's have a look at the Jadx Gui options. So let's have a first view inside this tool. So I go into the apps directory, spacepan, and we open this classes next to jar.jar with Jadx Gui. And this one over here. And here we go. This is the overview about this tool, and it's super clean, and I really like this tool. On the left, we've got those package names, and those package names contain the Java classes underneath. For example, within systems, we've got this alien behavior system, and we can see the Java code out of here. If we get this one, Jadx Gui struggled with the decompiling of this method, and therefore it puts out those bytecode reference. So we do not get the Java source code out of this one right now. Okay, a good starting point is this one over here, because this package name is identical to the package identifier of this application. And this is very likely the case that the code underneath here has been added by the developer, because Jadx Gui also resolves, for example, the Android Java classes that comes bundled with the Android system and that are not interesting to us. Therefore, this one seems to be from the developer, and we also have proved this already. So underneath this package name, there might be a lot of interesting stuff where I would start reverse engineering this application. Jadx Gui comes with a lot of nice options, and let's discuss them real quick. We've got this one, for example. This is open type, and we can search here for types. For example, if we type in player, then we get those C, which means classes, or this E, which means enum types. There's also an I for interfaces. And here we can see, for example, if I get more, now we've got all classes that contains player at this point. If we want to search within the whole code, for example, for variables or method names, we have to use a different search, which is right next to this one. And here we can see what we want to search for. And normally I check everything right here because we do not really know what we are looking for. For example, if you look for AES, this might be a field name, it might be a method or a constructor, and so on. Therefore, I like to move on with all of them. If the output gets too large, I try to minimize this approach. For example, if we search for AES, we might not search for type or fields. We might search for AES within methods or constructors, for example. Okay, but most of the time this is not the case, so we can stick to all. And it's also nice to have this regex over here. And it's also case insensitive. For example, if we search for something, let's say alien, we get now all this alien results over there. And here, for example, we can see, okay, here has been an alien class, but this one is a groups class, and this groups class seems to contain some string reference with alien. And here we go. We've got string aliens, alien shots, and so on. So this search is, the most used window in Jadx Gui for me right now. Okay, next we've got this one, which is the type hierarchy. I'm also not sure about this pronunciation. I hope it's correct. And this comes super handy during our reverse engineering approach because it shows the inheritance of those classes. For example, we've got this alien behavior system over here. And this one extends this entity processing system. If we go to the top, we can see, yes, it extends the entity processing system. And this one extends the entity system. We can see this over here. So there we can see the inheritance through all those classes, which is super handy during our reverse engineering process. All right, and last but not least, what's left? The only thing that's left are those preferences. We can escape Unicode characters. This one is pretty interesting. Directory exploration, sorry for this one. Maximum depth. I've tested this with an application because I was not sure if Jadx Gui is searching into files that are in subdirectories up to 40. So if we add 40 directories into one application, my assumption was, Jadx Gui might miss them, but I have tested it and it works. But if you encounter an application that has a lot of subdirectories, it might be some obfuscation or some anti-reverse mechanisms, so please check them out manually. Otherwise, the rest is not that important, and maybe the font size might come handy if you want to increase them to 40, for example, then 14, sorry, then it's easier to read. And that's all about Jadx Gui right now. We load those Java classes into this file and we can nicely reverse engineer this application right now by having all those tools. In most cases, we simply stick to this one over here, which is the search engine. In the next section, we take a look at Jadx, which is a command line tool, and Jadx Gui, which is the graphical user interface for this one. And within this tool, we can feed in a whole APK, which is super nice. But it also has some disadvantages, which I would like to point out regarding to this approach. Alright, that's all for now. Feel free to browse around and reverse engineer this application. After I have introduced all tools, this will be definitely your task that you get familiar with this, and I also provide you some tasks to do. For example, to find the player lives and other stuff. I do not want to spoil that much right now.